Hello again, friends. Welcome to another edition of Beavertown Outdoors out here at the beautiful Beavertown compound. Actually, today we're in the beautiful Beavertown barn. So today I am going to be doing some maintenance work. As I showed in the last video, I broke shear bolt on the Snowblower on the Meteor 60 and want to get that changed out. I got replacement shear bolt. I'm also going to replace the auger shear bolt as well, and I'll show you why here in a bit. So as I showed in the last video, I broke the shear bolt on my PTO. This has two different sets of shear bolts, one at the PTO and then one on the auger, and those are necessary. You don't just replace them with a bigger bolt because it broke. You got to put the correct shear bolts in because this is what protects both your snowblower and the PTO on the tractor, both of which are very expensive things to replace, astronomically expensive things to replace. So, and who knows how long it'll take because we all know supply chain issues. So those shear bolts are important, and in this case it did its job. I hit a piece of wood out in the wood yard when I took it out there, and it jammed it and it broke the shear bolt, so it didn't break the implement or the tractor. But what I think happened, the reason this one broke instead of the smaller one on the auger is, I'll show you here in a minute. So here's the access point for the auger on the Meteor 60. Just loosen this up, and this little cover comes, as soon as you loosen it up enough, this little cover comes. I don't want to take it all the way off. There we go. So I just put that up here. So in here is the other shear bolt, which, of course, I'm not going to be able to spin the auger to get to until I get the other shaft done because I need the gear reduction. But down here, I'll turn you so you're looking the right way. So that's a snowblower shear bolt. It's the right diameter. The problem is it wasn't the right length. These take a particular size, and how they do their shear bolts is they're not the notch shear pins like you get for your regular snowblower. They're just a bolt of a particular size and a particular grade. So what I got, I'll show it here, they're in my pocket. So I went and seen my friends at Pine Fasteners here in the area, and I got the correct bolts. I got 3 of each. I probably should have bought 6. So this one here, the PTO, is a 8mm, was it 8.8 grade, so that's the equivalent to a grade 5. It's a grade 5 bolt equivalent, which I guess as long as it fit, you could use the standard, which would be 5/16, I think. So, but it has to be grade 5. It's supposed to break at a certain amount of shear load, and then back here is supposed to be a 1/4-inch bolt that is a grade 2. So if you can think about it, that's the weakest one. That, if you catch something in the auger, that should break first. If that doesn't break, then you break the shear pin on the PTO, because that's the last resort before it breaks something in one of the 2 gearboxes. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace the big one, get it so I can turn it, because it's easier to turn the auger when it's attached with gear reduction, and there's snow and everything else in here. And it's been, for those of you that don't know, maybe you're in the south or whatever, of course, south, bless your hearts, you guys have had a rough way to go as well. You had ice storms down there. Welcome to our world. It sucks, just we're used to it up here. You guys aren't, so I hope everyone down there is safe. Hope everybody in Texas getting their power back. It's unfortunate that that's happening again. So I really hope that people don't lose their life because of not having power. That's unfortunate. So anyway, I digress. We're going to replace the big shear bolt here, And then we're going to get this spinning, and so I can get access to the other shear bolt and replace that with the correct one. So hopefully we just break those little guys and no more putting that much shock on the PTO. Here that lines up. I don't know if you can see it. Just slide this in. There's a torque spec. We're going to use the German torque spec, good and tight. And there. Now, turn the shaft. Oh, she's a frozen blob. Oh boy. Alright. Guess we're going to free up some ice. Guess we're going to free up some ice. Dark cold weather freezes everything into a block.
was turning. Was turning before. She just froze it. Huh. Alright. That's all free. She just rose up. Don't forget to mallet. Not that color free. There, get a little movement. Probably got a block of ice in it down at the bottom. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Handy dandy shovel. Now let's go down. Fortunately, the shaft is in the way. Oh yeah, she's got a block of ice in it. See if that give me enough. Getting there. There we go. Hey, there we're getting it. Oh, we hit a stop. Sun stop. Oops. You go over there. There we go. See? Now we're pretty well spinning free. Good deal. Gotta get that last little bit freed up. There we go. Alright. Now, we're just going to spin it. So we got, there's our shear bolt. Now, we're going to grab a different wrench. This should be the good old 7/16. Whew. I'm glad we got that figured out, guys. That was rough. Alright, 7/16. Look you bugger. Metric? That's pretty well loose. Which is odd. Okay, I'll just spin it off. Not really. Huh. Not 10mm. What size this was? 11. Ah, I'm like an oddball. Okay. Whatever it is. Oh yeah, I do remember this being an ordeal. You actually have to spin it. So the chain is out of the way. Let's see, this was my fix. Again, the other bolt breaking is entirely my fault. Again, this was a temporary fix to get going, and I'm sure some of you guys have all had a temporary fix that ended up being semi-permanent. Let's turn this ice back up. Oh, come on. Oh, you're almost there. Oh, you're almost there. Huh. This might be a longer ordeal than I thought. Apparently, what happens when you have the wrong size bolt in the hole. Yeah, yes, you bet. Well, that's unfortunate. two out of here. So that's what happens. See how it's bent? That should have broke. It didn't. So that's what happened. Note to self, don't do that no more. Buy the correct bolt. It's going to fit through. We got to go through the back side like that. There we go. I know you can't see what I'm doing. Come on, bolt. Not whatever. Hard to manipulate these with gloves on. Let's do this way. And maybe now you can see too. Just threading that on there. I got lock nuts, which are what it's supposed to be. You got to have a lock nut of some kind for it to spin, or I'm sorry, to keep from spinning its way off. These are American bolts, so 7/16 should be the thick. I'm gonna be careful tightening this one, because again, this is only a grade 2, so we're not looking to He-Man this on. We just want to get it tight. And they don't make these easy. Bugger. Almost there. Okay, there. Just till it starts to yield. That's it. Welcome back here, Mr. Socket. Put my gloves on. Make sure she spins. And I will get her hooked back up. There we go. Spins freely until we get to ice. I'll get her hooked back up. Alright, so I'm going to hook this back up. I'm going to take it outside, run the PTO, and make sure it all spins and works, and then leave it outside. It's actually above freezing today. We can thaw this.
So that's one thing with the snowblower that's kind of a dislike. You know, she's very rear heavy. If you don't block the rear end, when you go to hook up the 3-point, you know, even with the Pat's quick hitches, it ends up being a pain in the butt because it getting just right on there, and then as soon as you touch it, it wants to tip backwards. So I gotta start putting a block behind there, try to alleviate that. But now, the last thing to do is hook up the PTO shaft, and then put the stand up, of course. One thing, notice I shut the tractor off. The tractor is off, and the PTO is out of gear. Okay, so one, always turn your tractor off when you're hooking up your drive shafts. You know, this thing catches your arm, it ain't gonna stop. I mean, if sheared bolts off when it hits something and stop this end, it's not gonna stop for your arm, your finger, your whatever. So you always want to have it off. Now, one thing I guess some would call a disadvantage to the Branson tractor, the PTO shroud in the back doesn't tip up. It's like some models do, but unlike the 264, it's quite large opening. And I can get my hand in there and actually get in and you know, get both hands in there to hold the quick connect on the shaft. I can hold that and slide it on. So not too bad. But the other thing, and with tractor off, doesn't matter if PTO is in gear or not as far as safety goes, but I always keep the PTO disengaged at the gearbox. That way, if the splines don't line up, you know, with this, it ain't too bad. It'll turn. But, you know, some of the other PTO-driven implements, they don't turn without the gearbox running. They're, you know, they have more resistance. Mowers and stuff, for example. So if the PTO gearbox is disengaged, let me show it here. You can actually spin this, okay? It freewheels. Not freewheels, but, you know, she'll turn. You can turn that, and that's easier to turn than turning the gearbox on the implement. So, all right, I'm going to switch back to the other camera that you can see here. And we're going to get the PTO shaft hooked up. Then we're going to pull her outside, test it out. All right, so we're hooked up. We got outside. Got the PTO down. I don't have it down all the way, just to where this, where the shaft sits straight. So we're gonna throttle up a little bit. Yeah, we'll focus. All right, just a little bit. That way, something goes wrong, we're not at super high RPMs. And park brake is set. Okay, set for safety. See, here's that automatic PTO. She disengages and then engages. All right. Got it back off there. Idler back down. I think we're good. All right, guys. Well, that was a little bit of an ordeal, but we got it. So I guess as long as that took, we're gonna call that a quits for this video, and I'll do the next one on sharpening the chainsaws and getting those ready for next weekend. Like I said, we talked about the cold that we had here, which was extremely cold last couple nights. And I didn't ask you anything, Siri. So anyway, yeah, I love Siri on my watch. She doesn't understand when I'm not talking to her, but that's all right. So, but yeah, we've had the extreme cold the last few days, and now they're talking 40s and rain. One of those weird winters, I guess. So that's going to do it here from the beautiful Beavertown compound today. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button. Feel free to share. And definitely, please subscribe. I do appreciate every subscription I get. It helps me greatly. Helps me know that I need to keep doing these, or you guys want me to keep doing these. So until next time, be good to each other. Take care, stay safe, and I'm out.